Before we bring the coaches up, I wanted to share a couple fun facts about these two teams and their association with our great bowl. This is, as we said, the 70th annual TaxSlayer Bowl, and this marks the third time that these two teams have met. And the series is tied 1-1, so this is the rubber game, right? So we'll see. This is the second time Iowa has been in the bowl game. Last time they were here was in 1983, and they played against Florida. And then this will be the sixth visit for Tennessee to the TaxSlayer Bowl, and their last appearance was in 1994 against Virginia Tech, which a game that will always be remembered that was played in Florida Field, not here in Jacksonville. So we are pleased to have this opportunity to host these two outstanding programs, both tradition-rich, and we look forward to when they come to town. So what I'll be doing is I'll be extending each coach the official invitation to play in our game, and then after that, each coach will have some remarks, and then we'll take some questions from the media as well. So first, our visiting team. I want to invite Coach Ferentz from the University of Iowa to come up for the official invitation. That's the official invitation. I think we're getting a photo somewhere here. All right. It's yours.
Thank you, Vince. And just want to say, on Sunday night we got back to the office. We had our team banquet and learned of our bid to come to Jacksonville to play in this TaxSlayer Bowl. And we were awfully excited. It was great to talk to Vince that evening, Rick and Andy, and learn about our bowl bid. And as Vince said, I have been here before. I was here in 1983 for that game. The weather was not the best, and it was even worse when we got back to Iowa, I can assure you. But the one thing I do know, this city has changed an awful lot in 30-plus years. And then talking to guys that have been here in the Big Ten, the other teams that have been down here, most recently Nebraska, Ohio State, and Northwestern, they just had a fantastic experience with the TaxSlayer Bowl. So we are awfully excited about this opportunity to come play against an outstanding SEC opponent like Tennessee. So we're very, very excited. President Mason, Gary Barta, myself, and our entire staff and team are just thrilled to be coming to Jacksonville. Very, very excited about the opportunity, taking in the town and the city and just all the hospitality, and hopefully doing a great job to help provide a great football game on the second. So again, we're just awfully proud to be part of this and looking forward to coming down after the holidays. Thank you very much.
Now I want to bring up Coach Butch Jones from the University of Tennessee for the official invitation.
Thank you, and first of all, happy holidays to everyone, and Mayor Brown, and Vince and Rick and the entire TaxSlayer Bowl committee, thank you. Thank you for this tremendous opportunity. And on behalf of the University of Tennessee, the entire state of Tennessee, our student athletes, our alumni, our student body, and our great fans, we very humbly and very proudly accept your invitation to be a part of this tremendous bowl game. And it's very fitting for us. This will be our 50th bowl appearance, and our program's proud history and tradition. And what more fitting than to spend it in Jacksonville, Florida. So thank you. Just like Coach Ferentz said, we called an emergency meeting at 5:30, and Dave Hart, our Vice Chancellor and Director of Athletics, came sprinting into my office at about 5:20 and informed me of what was about to occur. So within about 10 minutes, we called a emergency team meeting at 5:30, and I kind of watched our players as they gathered to go into our team meeting room and not knowing what was coming before them. And to be able to have that opportunity to stand in front of those young men, all 120 of them, and we've gone through a lot of adversities, natural adversities that a long football season presents, and to be able to explain to them the magnitude of a January bowl game and the magnitude of the TaxSlayer Bowl was one of the most rewarding experiences I've had as a football coach. We'll only have one player on our football team that's ever experienced a bowl game before, and that's our punter, Matt Darr. So you can tell we have a lot of questions and a lot of things associated with going to our first bowl game in a number of years. But we're very excited, very proud to represent Tennessee. Congratulations to Iowa. Iowa is a program that I have watched from afar for a very, very long period of time, admire their toughness, their consistency and performance, and it's going to be a great challenge. But again, I look forward to seeing everyone. Thank you for this tremendous opportunity. Happy holidays and go Vols. Thank you.
You want to come up? So Coach is going to take some questions from the media.
Coach, if somebody asks you to describe Iowa football, what would be that definition?
Depends what time frame you're talking about. You know, we had a season this year that was disappointing in some ways. We went into our 11th ball game. We were 7-3 at that time and lost to a very good Wisconsin team in a very, I thought, tremendous football game. It was just a really exciting back and forth. Ended up losing by 2 points, and then we finished up with an overtime loss to a team that won 9 games. So, you know, when you finish a season like that, it's a little bit disappointing, certainly. And but we got back on the field. We had 2 workouts last weekend, and I think our players have really bounced back, and it's just great. It's always great to get back on the field with them. So, you know, we're excited to have this opportunity, play another game, spend another month together, and you know, hopefully we'll be a team that shows up that looks like they're well coached and plays extremely hard.
Well, I guess to rephrase, this program is under you and Coach Fry. What's the qualities of this program when you try to describe to them what Iowa football is about?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I got there 2 years after Coach Fry arrived. So 1981 was his 3rd season, actually. It was our first winning season in 19 years. To give you a little point of reference where the program was at that point. And he did a wonderful job of building the program up to a respected level. And it's been an honor to follow Coach Fry and be there the 16 years following his retirement. Yeah, and I think ultimately, if you look at our program in Tennessee, we may be a little bit alike in that our state populations are a little bit limited when it comes to prospects. So we have to travel and recruit across state borders an awful lot. And the thing I've enjoyed the most, I've been there 25 years now, the thing I've enjoyed the most, I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of really great people. And I don't know what it is, but it seems like we attract a certain kind of guy. They get there sometimes with great stories off the beaten path and develop into really good stories. And I think that's the thing that any coach really enjoys. So typically our best players have been hardworking guys that ran the full race. They usually don't make a big splash as freshmen or sophomores, but they tend to play their best as they get older.
Coach, the Big Ten plays 10 of its 14 teams in bowl games. Ohio State makes the Final Four playoffs. But you take a look at the matchups in the bowls, the Big Ten is an underdog in all 10 games. Any relevance or significance to that?
You know, luckily games get decided on the field, so I've really never worried about that too much or concerned myself about that. And I'd have to go back and look at our point spreads, which I normally don't pay attention to in the previous bowls that we've played in. And you know, typically our guys will show up and compete and play hard, and I think you know, we would expect that from everybody in our conference. There are a lot of good teams in the league, and there are a lot of good teams in college football. So to me, that's all pregame talk, and it really gets down to what happens on the field. And fortunately for all of us, games get decided through play and not through, you know, experts picking things.
Kirk, the offense the last couple of years with Jake as a quarterback, you guys have thrown a little bit more, it seems. You still got that, you know, good back and Wiesman and a couple other guys, but are you evolving a little bit more into a team that has a bit of balance there?
Yeah, you know, this may play to your earlier question. There is a real perception that we're a running team, and I'll go back to 2004. We had a pretty good football team. We ended up 7th in the country, and we came in next to last rushing the football that season. We had an outstanding defense, played very well on special teams, and I think a probably more accurate description of what we do is we try to play towards our strengths. And when we had Sean Green, we ran the ball a lot. You know, I'm smart enough to know that. You got a great player, you use him as best you can. So depending on where our experience is, where our best players are, we're going to try to lean that way a little bit. But our ultimate goal is to try to be balanced and have the ability to throw and run. And probably a lot of teams do strive for that, and it just kind of depends on where you're at a given point in the season, where your experience is, where your strengths are. We have several. Quarterback, as just alluded to, he's our starting quarterback. Jake has been with us now. This is his fourth year. Jake Rudock played at St. Thomas Aquinas. And we've got another young man, our starting left corner. Greg Maben is also from South Florida. Kind of spot recruit. We don't make a living down here, but we do try to spot recruit. We do that in a lot of places.
Anything else for Coach?
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Butch, I know all the conferences have their good qualities and everything. How difficult is it to resurrect a program in the Southeastern Conference with the fact that, there really aren't any breathers in that situation? How difficult has it been the last couple of years?
Well, it's a challenge in any conference to, build a football program. But I think when you're in the SEC, just the resources, the commitment, the fan bases, it's all magnified. And it's a great challenge, but you have a plan in place. And it all starts with building a culture. It's a standard. It's an expectation. And that's what's expected of winning football games at Tennessee and doing things right. And so as a leader, you have to paint that vision, and you continue to put your head down and you work each and every day. And I'm very, very proud of our players. We've played 24 true freshmen. We've started 9 true freshmen, and that's sometimes have been out of necessity because where we're at in the program. But you get a chance to basically, I referred to our team as an expansion team when the season started. And to see these individuals develop over the course of a season, and the leadership that has continued to be formed. And then I'm extremely proud of our seniors, the individuals that we have. They've provided stability to the program. They provided leadership. And we have a great, great commitment at Tennessee from our athletic administration and Dave Hart and Chancellor Cheek and everyone involved. So it's been a great team effort. You look at our academics, how far we've come. We had a perfect score in the APR last year. And with coaching transitions, that normally does not occur. So there's a lot of positive energy and positive things helping us rebuild this very proud football program.
And when you talk about the difficulty of this conference and stuff like that, where have your kids come the furthest since you took over? And this can be on the field or off the field. And where do you think a little bit more work is required? And then how valuable are these bowl practices going to be to your true freshmen, your redshirt freshmen, kids like that?
Well, we've come a long way in terms of our toughness and our mentality. And we're going to be a blue-collar football team. And we coach effort on every single snap. And so I think just the total investment by our players, the toughness, the consistency in performance, all the mental effort, mental intensity that we talk about that it takes to prepare, our players have done a very, very good job with that. Where we're at in the program, we still lack depth. And the only way you correct that issue or solve that problem is through recruiting and development of your players. And we signed 32 individuals last year. We had 13 newcomers at mid-year. We'll have at least 8 to 10 newcomers at mid-year this year, and we'll sign another full recruiting class. So you just have to continue to recruit and develop. And then your last question, these practices are invaluable for our football team. It's another opportunity. We spoke to our team about every team has a life expectancy. We're team 118. At the University of Tennessee. We've been playing football for 118 years. So every team has its own life expectancy, and that life expectancy is coming to an end. So it's another opportunity for this football team to become even closer than what they are now. But the practices are invaluable for developing the younger players, but even off the field. When you play an inordinate amount of freshmen, we don't have the luxury right now of redshirting, so their growth and development in the weight room has been set back because of that. So now we're able to kind of go back a little bit and really spark up our strength and conditioning program as well. So it's going to be invaluable for us.
Coach, have you had a chance to take a look at the Iowa program at this point? And if so, is there any similarities, any SEC school that they might resemble?
Well, you know, I have a little bit, not much, but a little bit just because of being on the road. Recruiting will do that next week. But like I spoke about earlier, I've followed Coach and I've followed the Iowa program for many, many years. And, you know, in where we're at in the culture of football, everyone wants to make changes. When you look at Iowa, you think of stability, you think of consistency, and you win with consistency in everything that you do. And they've had great consistency, great stability. Their teams are always very tough, very physical, very well coached. You know, and when I became a head football coach 8 years ago, Iowa was one of the teams that I studied and I looked at in terms of a toughness and a mentality. And so, you know, I've studied them afar. Have I really, you know, dove into them in depth on this year's team? No, I'll have that ability when we get back in next week. But just the respect that we have for their football program and for Coach and what they built there, it's at a very high level. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, coaches. Again, on behalf of the TaxSlayer Bowl, we're so honored. We're honored to have the mayor with us tonight. Thank you, Mayor, for being here. Coach Ferentz, thank you for coming. Coach Jones, thank you. Gary Barta, Athletic Director, thank you, Gary, and all your staff folks that came in town today. We really appreciate you coming in, spending some time with us. And we can't wait for the Hawkeyes and the Volunteers to be rolling into town. Let's give them a round of applause.